Hello and welcome to the Personalities of the Tarot podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Seer, and this is Season 2, Episode 12 for December 2nd, 2023. I discussed Sagittarius and the symbol of temperance in the last episode, so go back and give Episode 11 a listen if you're interested. This episode should be pretty short and sweet as I discuss the Nine of Wands and mid-Sagittarius, along with a reminder about the upcoming Mercury Retrograde. I've got a tarot tip for you and a list of famous and infamous birthdays for this area of the sign. So do that thing you do, get comfy and chill, walk, drive your car, or whatever it is you do while listening, and let's see what Sagittarius has in store for us. Hey, just a reminder, I'm a highly rated tarot and psychic reader. I have 5 stars on Google, Fiverr, Groupon, Fresha, and I think even Yelp. I'm pretty sure on Yelp as well. If you've been interested in getting a reading, but maybe didn't know how to go about finding a psychic for you, check out my site at elizabethseer.com. I have posts about my work and personal experiences, and I even have something about psychic scammers who unfortunately give us all a bad name. I have video meditations and links to a few products that I created to help out if you're also spiritually curious like me. Keep in mind you can only book a reading with me through my team at chickswithspiritualgifts.com or my personal site, elizabethseer.com. This mid-period of Sagittarius, from December 2nd through the 11th, is all about strength and stamina. Those born during this time may be extra vigilant and cautious due to painful circumstances from their past, both real and perceived. These mid-Sagittarians are reminded to hold on to what they believe while they venture into the future. They shouldn't forget their inner strength and discipline to see things through. They may need to give the world a break because not all actions and words outside of themselves are a call to war. In readings, I call this the PTSD card. In a traditional depiction, you find someone standing, actually leaning against a large staff. He looks a bit beat up. We see that although he's been through battle, he is still standing, though he's bandaged and bruised. Everyone knows he can keep up and has a deep resolve while he holds on in the face of difficulty. At the same time, he's been battling long enough to become overly defensive. Therefore, he may always be on the alert and stressed, expecting the other shoe to drop. For those of all signs during this time of mid-Sagittarius, it could be time to take a break for the sake of your well-being and that of your relationships. Let somebody else take charge while you gather your strength and look toward manifesting personal desires. Hold on to what you believe as you proceed with caution. You have the strength to see things through. Take care while protecting what's important. In Episode 1 for this season, I discussed Mercury Retrograde. It comes around 4 times a year, every 3.5 months or so. Our next Mercury Retrograde period begins December 13th and ends January 1st, 2024. You should always be aware of the very strong shadow period on either end of this planet's retrograde, so you're probably going to begin feeling its effects around December 6th through the first week of January. A lot of folks really freak out with Mercury retrograde. Heck, I used to freak out too, especially working in travel agent technical support. That was probably the worst thing I could be in during Mercury retrograde. But I've learned to really embrace Mercury's retrograde periods instead of working against them, and it's made all the difference. Go back and listen to Episode 1 of this season if you're really interested in the physical or astronomical understanding of Mercury retrograde. In astrology, Mercury rules travel, communications, and technology. So you can see the double whammy of working in travel tech support during this period. During the apparent backward motion of Mercury, you could have issues with communication breakdowns, or you might experience travel problems or technical difficulties. Now, if you can help it, you don't really want to purchase big ticket items, technology, and you don't want to plan new travel during this time. You also should try to avoid signing contracts or starting anything new, like a job if you can. If you already have travel plans in place, you just need to be prepared to be patient and try to go with the flow should anything go awry. And that's something you should be prepared for anyway when traveling during the holidays. I know it sounds like a lot could go wrong during Mercury retrograde, so I'm often asked if there's anything positive about this. And I always have to give a resounding yes. Mercury retrograde is all about the R-E, or the re, as I say. If you've had any projects on the back burner, it's a great time to dust them off and revisit, redraw plans, review and redo things, revamp, reassess, rewrite, readjust, rearrange, realign, reassign, recommit, regroup, reassemble, rethink, renew, reconsider, and revive. Mercury retrograde is all about the review, and the do-over, so make the most of it. With that being said, completing your holiday shopping and shipping before December 13th would be optimal. Are you spiritually curious? I've created some divination tools which might help you on your spiritual divination journey. In 2022, I designed and released the Lenormand Seer Oracle. It's available as a casting set or in card format. I use both formats regularly in my work, and I love the everyday specificity of that divination tool. I also designed Seer's Casting Tarot this year, and I am loving working with the 78 symbols on discs, and I can't say enough about how thrilled I am with the casting board. This is a new way to enjoy an old divination tool. I have a cool customized version of the set, which also includes a bag and a casting cloth sewn for you by yours truly. Or you can buy the original set and board directly from the print-on-demand manufacturer. The links to purchase these and more products are at my website, elizabethseer.com. I wasn't feeling very creative for this week's tarot tip. So when I contemplated my own journey with the 78 symbols of the tarot, I thought about those things I encountered which helped along the way. The right books? Check. The right deck? Check. The right shuffle? Yep. The elements and the numbers? Check and check. But what about your space? Having the right space to work with your divination tools, such as tarot, can help you achieve a strong and true connection with the divine. Now, I'm not saying I sit at my altar with candles and incense burning every time I do a reading. However, I have to admit, I did do that in the first few years of my tarot studies. And I think it helped. So if you can find a space in your home where you can set up a table, maybe some pictures or statues which help you to connect, maybe some crystals or stones, incense, candles, I encourage you to do so because it really can help. But don't feel bad if you don't currently have the space to make for your spiritual work. If you're truly called to the work, the space will be created for you. It's the time of year for annual tarot readings. Because of their popularity over the years, I have a very limited number of these readings available in November and December as we usher in the new year. If you want to know what's coming up for you in 2024, head over to elizabethseer.com and check out my annual tarot readings for more information and pricing. For a very limited time, mention this podcast when you contact me through the site and receive half off any one annual reading. Just say you heard about it on the podcast. It's famous birthday time! Here's my random list of famous or infamous mid-Sagittarius characters and celebrities born December 2nd through December 11th. Those on the list embody and or work with Nine of Wands energy. As always, this list doesn't mean I agree or disagree with a person's words or life choices. It's simply to educate on the mid-Sagittarius personality, giving you the opportunity to compare public personas with their tarot and astrological correlations, for good or bad. Gianni Versace, Stone Phillips, Britney Spears, Lucy Liu, Ozzy Osbourne, Daryl Hannah, who worked with Lucy Liu in the Kill Bill movies, Brendan Fraser, Tiffany Haddish, the original dude, Jeff Bridges, and his older brother, Beau, Marissa Tomei, Fred Armisen, Jay-Z, Tyra Banks, Lakota Sioux Chief Crazy Horse, comedian Margaret Cho, Frankie Muniz, Little Richard, Walt Disney, Tom Waits, Nicholas Hoult, Larry Bird, Noam Chomsky, Madame Tussauds, the Roman poet Horace, the inventor of the cotton gin, Eli Whitney, Kim Basinger, Dame Judi Dench, Kirk Douglas, Raven Simone, Kiki Lane, Emily Dickinson, Rita Moreno, and rocker Nikki Sixx. I always suggest reading your favorite monthly horoscope at the beginning of the month. I think there's some good things happening at the end of December. Mercury Retrograde be damned. While I'm not getting any money or favor for this, I'll let you know that my favorite monthly sites are Susan Miller's Astrology Zone and Cafe Astrology. Also, don't forget to get your shopping done as soon as possible and try to be positive, holding back your defensive measures unless you really need them. On the next episode, around December 12th, I'll be discussing late Sagittarius and the Ten of Wands. We also move from the reign of the fiery King of Wands into the earthy Queen of Coins, or Pentacles if you prefer. She reigns from December 12th through January 9th, and she's often looked upon as Mother Nature. I always got to show love for my chicks with spiritual gifts. So if you're interested in different intuitive readers or new and creative intuitive readings, like Sheila's encaustic wax art readings or Kimmy's AI art readings, make sure to check out my team at chickswithspiritualgifts.com and book a reading with Kimmy, Lindsay, Sheila, or me. Now is the time to overcome falling into negative patterns. Over the next week, try to take a break from expecting the worst and try to reconnect with dreams and goals. You've been listening to Elizabeth Seer, and I'm grateful for this time with you.